Welcome to Creepy, the best horror storyteller on YouTube.
Part 1.
It was supposed to be a fun road trip, a chance to explore new places, meet new people, and have new experiences. My friends and I had planned it for months, saving up money, booking hotels, and mapping out our route. We were going to drive across the country, from New York to California, stopping at various landmarks, attractions, and cities along the way. We were excited, adventurous, and ready for anything. Or so we thought. We did not know that our road trip would turn into a nightmare that would haunt us for the rest of our lives. We did not know that every mile we drove would bring us closer to a terrifying ritual, a ritual that involved us, and that we could not escape. We did not know that we were being watched, followed, and hunted. We did not know that we were in danger until it was too late. It all started on the third day of our trip, when we reached Pennsylvania. We had spent the previous 2 days driving through New Jersey and Delaware, visiting places like Atlantic City, Cape May, and Wilmington. We had a blast, enjoying the sights, the sounds, and the food. We were a group of 5 friends, all in our early 20s, and we had known each other since high school. There was me, Riley, the leader and organizer of the trip. There was Jake, my best friend and co-pilot, who always had a joke or a story to tell. There was Mia, Jake's girlfriend and my childhood friend, who was sweet, smart, and beautiful. There was Leo, the quiet and mysterious one, who had a knack for photography and music. And there was Zoe, the wild and rebellious one, who loved to party, flirt, and have fun. We were a diverse and dynamic bunch, and we got along well, most of the time. We had our arguments and disagreements, of course, but we always resolved them quickly and peacefully. We cared for each other, and we trusted each other. We were more than friends, we were family. That's why, when we saw the sign for the town of Salem, we decided to check it out. We thought it would be a cool and interesting place to visit, a place with history and mystery. We thought it would be fun to see the old buildings, the museums, and the monuments. We thought it would be harmless to learn about the witch trials, the legends, and the folklore. We thought it would be a good idea to spend the night there and continue our trip the next day. We were wrong. We arrived in Salem around 6 p.m., just as the sun was setting. The town looked quaint and charming, with its colonial architecture, cobblestone streets, and colorful shops. It also looked quiet and peaceful, with few people and cars around. We drove around, looking for a place to stay. We found a small motel, called the Black Cat Inn, on the outskirts of the town. It looked old and run down, but it was cheap and available. We decided to book 2 rooms, one for Jake and Mia, and one for Leo, Zoe, and me. We checked in, unloaded our bags, and settled in. We were hungry, so we decided to go out and find something to eat. We asked the motel owner, a friendly old lady named Mrs. Jenkins, for some recommendations. She suggested a diner, called the Witch's Brew, that was not far from the motel. She said that it had good food, good service, and good prices. She also said that it had a lot of character, and that we would enjoy it. We thanked her, and followed her directions. We found the diner, and went inside. It was a cozy and quirky place, with a lot of witch-themed decorations, such as brooms, hats, and cauldrons. It also had a lot of memorabilia, such as posters, books, and souvenirs, related to the town's history and culture. It was not very crowded, but it had a warm and welcoming atmosphere. We sat at a booth and looked at the menu. It had a lot of options, from burgers and fries, to salads and sandwiches, to pies and cakes. We ordered our food and waited for it to arrive. While we waited, we chatted and joked, as we usually did. We talked about our trip, our plans, and our impressions. We also talked about the town and what we wanted to see and do. We agreed that we wanted to visit the Salem Witch Museum, the Salem Witch House, and the Salem Witch Trials Memorial. We also agreed that we wanted to avoid the more touristy and cheesy places, such as the haunted houses, the wax museums, and the fortune tellers. We were not interested in those things, we said. We were not superstitious, we said. We did not believe in witches, we said. We were wrong. Our food arrived, and we ate. It was delicious, and we enjoyed it. We also enjoyed the service, which was friendly and attentive. Our waitress, a young woman named Abby, was very nice and helpful. She asked us where we were from and what we were doing in town. We told her that we were on a road trip and that we were just passing through. She smiled and said that we had picked a good time to visit. She said that the town was preparing for a special event, or event that only happened once every 100 years. She said that it was a secret and that she could not tell us more. She said that it was a surprise and that we would find out soon enough. She said that it was a ritual and that we were invited. We were curious and we asked her what she meant. She winked and said that she could not say. She said that it was a mystery and that we had to wait. She said that it was a game and that we had to play. She said that it was a gift and that we had to accept. She said that it was an honor and that we had to participate. We were confused and we asked her to explain. She laughed and said that she could not. She said that it was a rule and that we had to follow. She said that it was a tradition and that we had to respect. She said that it was a destiny and that we had to fulfill. She said that it was a fate and that we could not escape. We were scared and we asked her to stop. She smiled and said that she could not. She said that it was too late and that we had to face. She said that it was inevitable and that we had to embrace. She said that it was a horror and that we had to endure. She said that it was a nightmare and that we had to suffer. She said that it was fear factor. And that fear factor was hungry.
Part 2.
We were shocked and we did not know how to react. We looked at each other, hoping that someone would say something, do something, make sense of the situation. We looked at Abby, hoping that she would laugh, apologize, admit that it was a prank. We looked at our food, hoping that it was not poisoned, tainted, or cursed. But no one said anything, no one did anything, no one made sense of the situation. Abby did not laugh, apologize, or admit that it was a prank. Our food was not poisoned, tainted, or cursed. It was worse. It was alive. Our food started to move, twitch, and squirm. Our burgers and fries turned into rats and worms. Our salads and sandwiches turned into snakes and spiders. Our pies and cakes turned into maggots and cockroaches. Our food was not food, but creatures. Creatures that were disgusting, repulsive, and horrifying. Creatures that were our fears. Our fears that were alive. The creatures crawled out of our plates and onto the table. They scurried, slithered, and skittered. They hissed, squeaked, and chittered. They looked at us with beady eyes, fangs, and pincers. They attacked us with claws, tails, and stingers. They bit us, scratched us, and stung us. They hurt us, and we screamed. We screamed, and we tried to get away. We pushed our chairs and ran to the door. We reached the door and tried to open it. We tried to open it, but it was locked. It was locked, and we could not get out. We could not get out, and we were trapped. We were trapped, and we were doomed. We were doomed, and Abby laughed. Abby laughed, and she clapped her hands. She clapped her hands, and the creatures stopped. They stopped, and they returned to their plates. They returned to their plates, and they became food again. They became food again, and they looked normal. They looked normal, and we were confused. We were confused, and Abby smiled. Abby smiled, and she walked to our booth. She walked to our booth, and she looked at us. She looked at us, and she spoke to us. Did you enjoy your meal, my friends? Did you like the surprise, the mystery, the game? Did you like the gift, the honor, the fate? Did you like Fear Factor? We did not answer, we could not answer, we were speechless. We were speechless, and Abby continued. Of course you did, my friends. Of course you liked it. You liked it because it was fun, because it was exciting, because it was thrilling. You liked it because it was scary, because it was terrifying, because it was horrifying. You liked it because it was Fear Factor. And Fear Factor is the best thing that ever happened to you. We did not agree, we could not agree, we were horrified. We were horrified, and Abby continued. Of course you agree, my friends. Of course you agree. You agree because you have no choice, because you have no say, because you have no will. You agree because you are mine, because you are ours, because you are his. You agree because you are Fear Factor. And Fear Factor is the only thing that matters to you. We did not understand, we could not understand, we were baffled. We were baffled, and Abby continued. Of course you understand, my friends. Of course you understand. You understand, because I will explain, because I will reveal, because I will enlighten. You understand, because I will tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You understand, because you need to know, because you want to know, because you have to know. You understand, because you are Fear Factor. And Fear Factor is the truth. Abby paused, and she looked at us. She looked at us, and she said, Are you ready to hear the truth, my friends? Are you ready to hear the truth about Fear Factor? We did not answer, we could not answer, we were afraid. We were afraid, and Abby answered for us. Of course you are, my friends. Of course you are. You are ready, because you are curious, because you are eager, because you are desperate. You are ready, because you are brave, because you are strong, because you are fearless. You are ready, because you are Fear Factor. And Fear Factor is ready for you. Abby smiled, and she said, Let me tell you the truth, my friends. Let me tell you the truth about Fear Factor. Fear Factor is not an app, but a ritual. A ritual that is ancient, powerful, and sacred. A ritual that is performed once every 100 years, on the night of the full moon, in the town of Salem. A ritual that involves 5 people, 5 strangers, 5 travelers. A ritual that involves you. We gasped, and we looked at each other. We looked at each other, and we realized. We realized, and we were shocked. We were shocked, and Abby continued. Yes, my friends. You are the chosen ones, the lucky ones, the special ones. You are the ones who have been selected, by fate, by chance, by him. You are the ones who have been invited, by me, by us, by him. You are the ones who have been destined, by fate, by chance, by him. You are the ones who are Fear Factor. And Fear Factor is him. Abby pointed, and we looked. We looked, and we saw. We saw, and we were terrified. We were terrified, and Abby continued. Behold, my friends. Behold the one who is Fear Factor. Behold the one who is the Master, the Leader, the Lord. Behold the one who is the Creator, the Maker, the Giver. Behold the one who is the destroyer, the taker, the eater. Behold the one who is Alex. And that Alex is hungry. We followed Abby's finger, and we saw a man. A man who was standing at the counter behind the cash register. A man who was wearing a black suit, a black tie, and a black hat. A man who was holding a black phone that had a red logo that resembled a skull. A man who had a face that was handsome, charming, and friendly. A face that was familiar and feared. A face that was Alex. Alex looked at us, and he smiled. He smiled, and he spoke. Hello, my friends. I'm Alex. And I'm Fear Factor. And I'm hungry. Hungry for you. He laughed, a loud laugh, a laugh that echoed in the diner. He laughed, and he pressed a button on his phone. He pressed a button, and the lights went out. The lights went out, and we were plunged into darkness. We were plunged into darkness, and we were doomed. We were doomed, and Alex spoke. Welcome to the dark, my friends. Welcome to your fear. Welcome to your doom. He laughed, and he came for us. He came for us, and we screamed. We screamed, and we died. We died, and he ate. He ate, and he was satisfied. He was satisfied, and he waited. He waited for the next 100 years. He waited for the next road trip. He waited for the next Fear Factor. He waited, and he was hungry. He was hungry, and he was Fear Factor. And Fear Factor was him.
Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for more similar horror stories.